Happy Monday, happy beginning of April, happy start to the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon 2019. It is going to be a very busy month for us, both in terms of personal stuff and reading. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right in and make that cup of tea, and then I'll talk to you guys about my reading plans for the week. Tea. I've had a little bit of food. I'm gonna sit down and chat with you guys for a minute about what I plan on reading this week for the readathon, what like my overall layout for the readathon is, whatever, all of that stuff. I will link the blog post with my TBR down below so you can see my overall reading plans. But basically, I just plan on reading as much as I can over this entire month. I have blocked everything out aside from like the normal stuff that I would do with my kids on a week-to-week basis and all that stuff, but like any writing, any of that stuff, like everything has kind of been set aside so I can focus most of my goals on reading. About halfway through the month, we are taking a little vacation, so I've kind of already anticipated that I'm not going to get any reading done on vacation, which is okay. I figured that that would go down. It's just gonna be a long weekend away. My husband is in and out for like the first half of this month, so that's gonna play a role into it. But yeah, I apologize for the background noise. Apparently my kids woke up hyper. So my goal basically in these first couple weeks is just get as much reading done as I can. Another thing that's kind of like playing a role is I've had to order a couple of the books that I'm reading. A couple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 of the books. So almost half the books that I'm reading I've had to order online. So, and it takes a little while for them. It takes about 7 to 10 days I've seen. So a lot of the like bigger books I'm not gonna be able to get to until the second half of the month. So that's kind of playing a role into it a little bit, but it's okay. I'm just gonna go with it. We're gonna roll. It's a really fun thing I feel like to do, and it'll be really fun to just have a whole month of just like a solid focus on reading. So the books that I am trying to read this week, I'm gonna try and do 2 to 3 if I can. The first one, which I'm gonna start here this morning, is The Return of the Soldier by O.W.L.s. This is a very short book. It's 83 pages. This 83 pages. This is my History of Magic book. I want to be a History of Magic professor. This is this was published over 10 years ago, so that is why it hits History of Magic. It's basically a World War I novel about a soldier returning home, and when he encounters with the women in his life. So there's that. My battery light is blinking. That's great. That's where I'm starting at. And I will come back later and check in with you guys on how that went, as well as the rest of the books that I plan to get to this week. I'm gonna go charge my battery. We are also gonna go for a walk. It's a beautiful day outside. It's warm. Hallelujah, spring is coming. If it's not here already. So yeah, we're gonna go take a little walk, and I will check in with you guys in a few hours. Hello, good afternoon. It's a few hours since I updated you this morning. I have a full battery charge right now, so we are good on that. I figured my updates are gonna be a little bit more over the next month, or at least I'm gonna try and make them a little bit more because it's a readathon. I'm gonna be doing a lot more reading, so I should be updating you guys a lot more, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But my first update of the readathon is I've finished The Return of the Soldier by O.W.L.s. And I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. O.W.L.s' writing is beautiful. the story in itself is tragically beautiful. I have no idea what I would do in this situation. I'd be heartbroken, that's for sure. And overall, I just really enjoyed it. It was a short story, just a little novella, but it had its own beautiful arc, and like I said, the writing was gorgeous. So that's one down. As far as my reading plans for this week go, I don't know what I'm really gonna read. I kind of want to get to Killing the SS by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. This fills the prompt for Arithmancy, which is a work written by more than one author. So I want to get to this week, and I would also like to get to one of these this week. Annihilation fills the prompt for Herbology, which is a plant on the cover, and All Quiet on the Western Front fills the prompt for Care of Magical Creatures with a land animal on the cover. Mostly I want to get to these two because they're library books, and I'm weird about library books and returning them and due dates and all that stuff. But also these three books are kind of the smallest books that I have in this, with Annihilation topping out at like 200 pages, I think. Yeah, 195 pages. All Quiet on the Western Front is a couple hundred pages. Oh, never mind, just kidding. It's almost 300 pages. And then I think Killing the SS is in the 200 page mark as well. Yeah, we're looking at like 290 as well. So these are kind of the ones that I'm reaching for. However, I did just get a whole box of books that contains the rest of the books that I need for this readathon. Great timing, Barnes & Noble. So I figured I'd do a little unboxing for you this afternoon as well. Here's my box for you. And I figured we just get into the books that I've ordered. The first one has nothing to do with the readathon. It's just a book that I've wanted. Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I'm finally jumping on the bandwagon after I heard Reagan over at Peruse. The way she talked about this book, it made me think almost of like a Real Housewives scenario, and I just really love that idea. So I finally am jumping on the bandwagon. I also picked up The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I saw the second book in this series just recently, and it really piqued my interest, and so I wanted to read the first one. I think it's a fantasy world where there's a modern day New York and old New York and a thief and some magic, and I'm just really intrigued. The second book has me more intrigued, I think, than the first one, but it's a series, so kind of need to know what's going on. Then I picked up White Teeth by Zadie Smith. Tara Westover has been tweeting about this like crazy, so actually what she's been tweeting, the passages that she's been underlining and tweeting about have really like piqued my interest in terms of topics and writing style, so I wanted to give this one a shot. The next book is the Cozy Bookshop Reads Book Pick of the Month, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you don't know what this is, are you living under a rock? I feel like everybody knows what this is, and it's also a book that I'm just really looking forward to. It had me intrigued based on how it is told. It's told through interviews and magazine articles, and there isn't really like a true narrative story to it, so that had me intrigued. This next book I'm picking up this month and I'm hauling is Uprooted by Naomi Novak. This is a retelling, a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I've had this on my list. I hear a lot of people talk about Naomi Novak and the retellings, but I've always been scared to pick them up, so we'll see. I'm sorry if this portion is like all in and out of the blur factor. I've got two more books to talk about. The first one is The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley. This, I think out of everything that I've read of Susanna Kearsley, this, and I can't think of what the other one is called right now, intrigues me the most. But basically it follows like every other Susanna Kearsley novel. There is something, they fall back into time, there's a mystery, and they all live happily ever after. So there you go. Yeah, that's my good synopsis for you. And the last one that I want to talk about is Autumn by Ali Smith. This is an adult literature fiction. It's gonna be a quartet of all the different seasons, and I think it's literally a luminous meditation on the meaning of richness and harvest and worth. And it casts an eye over our own time. Who are we? What are we made of? Just a good adult literature. So that is that, and that is it for my little book haul. I will be having another one tomorrow because my other box came today, so keep an eye out for that. That is my update for now. I think the next book I'm gonna pick up is probably gonna be Annihilation, and I'll pick that up this evening, and we'll just wait and see how far I get. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I have my tea kettle on right now, so I can get that going because I am tired. Reading update for you. I made it 55 pages into Annihilation last night, and at this point I am so confused. I can't even say, like, I'm literally lost in the sauce with this book. And we follow a group of women who are going on an expedition into an area that has, they don't even know what, like, they have no idea what to expect or anything like that. And we follow these women as they go into this expedition and try and figure out what the area is and information about the area. We are told early on, like, who's gonna survive the longest, basically, I guess you could say, or who between the four of them who are like the two, like the outliers who will end up making it. I don't know. I'm so confused at 55 pages in that I just, yeah. I will say my confusion did keep me reading for quite a while last night, because I was like, each time I kept going, I was like, maybe I'll get to a point where I understand what's going on if I just keep going. So we'll see. I'm not gonna have any time to read this morning as the boys are going to playgroup, so I will catch up with you this afternoon when I actually get a chance to sit down and read. Hello, hi, good afternoon. It is afternoon on Tuesday. We've been to playgroup, we've eaten our lunch, we're about to settle down for nap time and reading. I was able to read a few pages this morning while I was eating breakfast, not a whole lot, but I'm now on 59, so I read a total of 4 pages while I was eating breakfast. But I wanted to come on here, not that I have a huge update for you or anything, but I wanted to come on here because I have another box. I told you this was gonna happen yesterday, it happened. Let's get into what these books are, maybe. You'll see moving forward, book hauls, A, they're gonna be quarterly on my blog, and B, you'll kind of like, there'll be a lot of books to talk about that I'm getting at the start of the month, and then none as the month really goes on. There'll be like 1 or 2 at the end of the, like towards the end of the month. But this is 4 books. So the first one is Fatal Throne, The Wives of Henry VIII Tell All. I didn't really look at the description of this because A, Henry VIII history, bring me all the things. B, The Wives of Henry VIII history, bring me all the things. And I think that these are, if I understand correctly, each of these are written by a different author. I think there are 7 or 8 authors, and I think each one is written by a different author, which makes me really, really excited. Here are the tragic and riveting stories of the wives of Henry VIII, as well as Henry's own story, written by 7 of the most acclaimed and best-selling YA authors working today. I didn't even know about this. This just happened to come up in one of my book groups on Facebook, and I'm just really excited about this. Give me all the things. I can't wait to read that. The next book that I picked up is All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Bryn Greenwood. I have heard mixed things. I have heard people either love it and it made them cry and it made them uncomfortable, and like rethink things, and then I've also heard people who don't like it because it romanticizes something that should not be romanticized. I'm curious to read it for myself, and I might even bring it up to my book club and see if they want to read it as a book club, because I feel like it would be one of those books that's really good, and it is. This is really curious. Basically, from my understanding, it talks about a relationship, and I think we deal with drugs and gangs, and some other things. The backstory doesn't really say much of anything, so I'm very excited about this one. And then I picked up just a couple collections, the first one being Mary Oliver's New and Selected Poems Volume 1. Really, I hadn't heard much about her, but I've read a couple of her pieces and I loved them. There's just something about them that just really, I'm not a big poetry fan, but there's something about some of her works that really speak to me and like I really understand and mesh well with. So I figured I'd pick this up and start kind of picking through it and seeing. She writes some of the most beautiful nature poetry I've read, so very much looking for that. And then the last thing is the Essential Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. This collection features the key works of this Gothic American writer spanning from 1827 to his death in 1849. Includes The Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum, Poems, The Raven, and Annabel Lee. The story behind this is I picked out a book from the library about, like, that was like a collection of his works, and I didn't really get a chance to read it before I had to take it back. So I wanted to pick up my own just to have it. It does have a couple poems. It's got quite a few tales and quite a good, I would say, of both. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to just reading through this at random times. This was also one of the bargain books, which I was surprised actually came through because typically they don't. This is a really just pretty edition too, and it's got this, it's like a journal. Man, I'll take this. So that is my book haul. I am about to put the kiddaroo, one of the kiddaroos, down to go to bed, and then I'm gonna get some reading done. My goal is to read at the very least this afternoon 100 pages. That'll get me to like this, and then I would like, my goal is honestly to finish this by today. It's not a very long book. It's 190 something pages. Like, I can finish this today. And then I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna pick up next. I'm torn in between two books, so we'll see which way I go. I will update you later after I get some reading done. It's a few hours later and I've got an update for you. I have finished Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, and this is probably the weirdest book I think I've ever read in my reading lifetime. It was like really, I don't even know if I could truly tell you what it was actually about, to be completely honest. Basically, there's an area as part of our country that had some sort of a military catastrophic event, and they keep sending expeditions in, and as the expedition is learning about the environment and about each other, we are following along and learning it. 90% of this book, I was just lost and confused, didn't understand anything, which I suppose would be to mirror the way our characters feel, but it just left me just lost and confused. I will say there was a point in time where I actually did enjoy it, but it was just for 5-10 pages, and the rest of the time I was just feeling just really confused and not in a good way. So there you go. So that's done. I don't know if I'm gonna start anything else tonight, to be completely honest. I might just start fresh in the morning. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Which one do I read next? Okay. Daisy Jones and the Six. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. This afternoon, okay, so back it up here. I did not end up starting a new book last night, but I did have my son pick my next book that I would read today. I've already taken the cover off of it and you'll have already seen it, so this shouldn't be a surprise, but I'm going to start this afternoon Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm really looking forward to this one. It is the book club pick for the Cozy Bookshop reads for this month, and I've just been hearing a lot of really good things about it, so I'm really excited to read it. I'm about to hunker down here during nap time and get some reading done, so I'll check in with you guys a little bit later on once I actually have some reading done. Good morning! It is Thursday morning and we are about to head to the library, and I'm going to cross my fingers that I walk out without any books, because we got to put a pin in that for a minute. I made it to page 155 in Daisy Jones and the Six yesterday. I did not update you guys because by the time dinner time came around, I was about 60-70 pages in, and then we just had evening, like, dinner time, and I didn't really get a bulk, like, half of my reading was done in the afternoon, half of my reading was done at 10 o'clock last night, so y'all don't want to see me at 10 o'clock at night, I promise. But I am really enjoying it. Basically, the story follows a band. I mean, if you have not heard this already, I will explain this to you. If you have heard this, listen to me try and explain this to you, I guess. The story follows a band and its rise to fame in like the 70s, and I think it goes into the 80s too. Anyway, it follows this band. It follows the members. You've got the members and how they became who they became. It follows their significant others. You know, the people that they were dating, that they knew. It follows their managers, their recording sound engineers, and it's told, the entire story is pretty much in an interview format. So you don't have anybody asking any questions or anything like that, but you have the band members, like, it's told from various interviews, and these band members are pretty much having a conversation, and that to me is what is so impressive, that an author has come up with, like, it's impressive, incredibly impressive as to how much effort she really put into this novel and to create this. And then I saw at the end there are song lyrics, which, what? And the whole concept of this is absolutely incredible to me, and I'm really actually enjoying this. You can take it, the nice thing that I'm finding so far, and like I said, I'm about halfway through, but the nice thing that I'm seeing so far is you can take it two different ways. You can either have like a nice, just good read of, you know, this, that, and the next thing, or you can use it as a study of human nature and what is too many people in a group, and how our childhood and the experiences that we experience affect ourselves, and how they affect other people, and how the experiences of other people affect us. It's just, there's so many ways, which is what I love about books. Just as a general aside, I love that books have that power where you can treat them either as like a light fluffy read, or you can dive deeper. I love that. And then what you do is completely your choice. And two people can choose to read it deeply and take two very different things. It's just, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother situation, and I'm going way off topic and I have to like get going soon, but I'm just really enjoying it. We'll just leave it at that. I'm really enjoying it. It's Thursday and I'm already halfway through my third book of the week. Like, who am I? It's been amazing to literally spend my time in books. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you just how incredible that is, to spend like my afternoons, like late afternoons, and then my evenings. Like, I don't have, aside from my kids when they go take a nap, like, I worked my schedule so that I did not have anything else to do this month other than read and do this readathon, and it has been just incredible. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, it's like, I don't even know what the date is. It's like the 4th or 5th of April, and I've already read 2.5 books. Like, albeit the first 2 were short, but I can get into the page count later, which I might do. I might actually track my pages. That would be interesting. Should I track my page, how many pages I read this month? Anyway, I gotta go. We're going to the library. I'm not gonna come out with any books. You heard it here. Keep me accountable. We'll see in the next clip if I came out with any books. And I will update you guys later when I get some reading done. Good morning. Happy Friday. I have no idea where I left you guys off yesterday in terms of like updates. But I'm currently on page 304 of Daisy Jones and the Six. I am almost done. I have like 50 pages to go in this book. This honestly is probably one of the fastest books that I have read. Like I will finish it this morning. That's 3 days. If I didn't have to sleep and little people did not depend on me, I would have probably read this in one sitting. Like I feel cheap for saying it this way. Like I feel like I'm just like repeating what everybody else says, but it is like 100% worth the hype that it is getting. Absolutely incredible. I love the ebb and the flow of the tension. Like it's not just one set of tension. Like it goes up and then it plateaus and then it crescendos and it plateaus, and it's so, that's just real life. Like real life is very much like ebb and flow, up plateau, down plateau, you know. And that's I'm so loving this, and it is so incredible what she's done. How, like, I want to know her writing process to write this book, because like wow, all the different perspectives and everything. And I was worried because I'm not a big like contemporary reader. I'm not like, when a book is hyped as much as this one is, I'm always wary of it because I'm wary. Reading plans are to finish Daisy Jones and the Six this morning and to start The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley this afternoon. That is the longest book I have on my TBR for this readathon, so I'd like to get a jump on it and like get it done. All right, I'm here to do a little update. I have finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't really have anything to add to my thoughts that I've already been giving you guys throughout this entire reading vlog. Except for I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars and I almost ran out of stickies. I did run out of stickies a couple times. Yeah, I just really liked this one. I liked the way that it handled what it was trying to do, and I just really, I don't have anything additional on top of what I've already said numerous times, which is hopefully something I don't know, I haven't started editing yet. I'm gonna go write a couple blog posts that I need to write, and then I'm gonna pick up my next book. Good afternoon. It's a few hours later. I'm actually gonna be starting dinner here shortly. So it's been a little while since I've updated you guys. I've started The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley. I am 74 pages in. I'm not impressed yet. I've read one other Susanna Kearsley novel, and I rated it 4 out of 5, and it was a Scottish history romance. I liked it. I'm not really enamored with this one yet. I did read a couple reviews. I normally don't do that, but I did read a couple of them. I did see kind of a running theme that it took a little while to get into it. So I think there's that. I also think I've just been reading a lot of hard-hitting things, and I want to continue reading those, and this just isn't it. It's gonna be a time-traveling romance. So not really like hard-hitting necessarily. I will say I kind of have an issue with our main character. Like I feel like she's kind of, I don't know, like it's just all kind of fuzzy right now, and I'm not really feeling it because it's fuzzy. Like there's no, like she's like, I think I hear voices, but I don't hear voices. It's just really not like, it's really mild. I think that's a good way of putting it. It's a really mild, like soft thing, and she's supposed to like recognize that she can travel between time, and I just feel like it's just really soft. So that's where I'm at. I will update you guys a little bit later on. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Currently almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and I have not talked to you guys yet. So let's have a quick a quick chat before I get on with the day. I didn't get as far as I'd hoped into The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley. I'm currently on page 116. So I wanted to get to 150. Didn't quite get there. I was falling asleep as I was reading last night, so I figured I should put it down. Today is the like 24-hour readathon that's part of the magical readathon. So that starts tonight at like 7, and I am gonna try and participate in that. I'm not gonna do the full like stay awake for 24 hours because that's insanity. It's just me and my kids. So we're not playing that game tonight, but I do want to try and get a big chunk of reading done in the next 36 hours. So with that being said, I've got to start editing this reading vlog because I'm sure I have a lot of footage, and then do a couple blog post plans for a couple book reviews and such that need to go up this afternoon. So I'm gonna quickly nail down for about the next hour, get as much as I can get sorted, and then try and start reading at 3 o'clock. I did do a little reading this morning. I read one chapter in All Quiet on the Western Front just to see if maybe getting into a different book for now would do something for me. I don't know. So the next 24 hours, these are my reading plans: All Quiet on the Western Front and The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley. That's all I've got for you now. I'll check in with you guys when I actually start reading. Hello, good evening. It is later. It is later. It's like 9 o'clock, so much later. I didn't get as much reading as I'd hoped to get done. I'm soloing it up today with my kids, so that makes a huge difference. I am currently on page 53 of All Quiet on the Western Front. I think this is what I'm gonna go with for now. Here's the thing. I can't, like, you can't fly through this book because I'm 50 pages in, and if this were my own copy of this book, it would be annotated like crazy. There is so much in this book, and I keep rereading bits because they just, so much of what they're saying is so like relevant to today even. This book is about World War I. When was it written? It's copywritten in 1956. That was when the copyright was renewed, not when it was originally put in. When it was renewed. The original copyright was 1929. Here we are in, thank you, in 2019, and the things that they are saying in the first 50 pages of this book still ring so true, and there's still so much about it that I'm just like, I get why so many schools make this required reading. My school did not. I don't think my dad's school, I don't think he ever had to read it for school, but I can understand why, and I feel like it should be across the board because there's so much about this book that is just like true. So that's where I'm at. Tonight is the 24-hour readathon portion of the magical readathon. I'm not staying up for 24 hours, but I do plan on staying up quite a bit late tonight if I can swing it, and trying to get a decent amount of reading done. Preferably I'd like to read like 100 pages of this tonight if I can, and then maybe 100 pages tomorrow if I can. Yeah, we'll just see how that goes. I'm gonna try and update you guys quite a bit tonight if I can. I will say I started editing the reading vlog today. I got really swept up in it actually, in editing, and it's already like 36 minutes long. So I don't want to do too many updates because I don't want it to be really, really long, but I don't want to like not update you guys at all. So there's my struggle. Anyway, I'm gonna go put the other kiddo to bed and get some reading done. Good morning, happy Sunday. I have no idea what happened last night. No idea what happened last night. I remember at like 10:45 turning everything off, and I remember at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning I picked up and got my camera battery off the charger, and then I woke up at 5:50 this morning with the helicopters roaming around. Beyond that, I have no idea what happened at all. This morning I found my book on my night table with no bookmark or anything, so no idea how far I made it or didn't make it. I think I'm somewhere in like 75, so obviously I did not get any reading done really. So that just means I gotta get a lot of reading done today. Yeah, that's all I've got. I'm gonna go drink some tea and make sense of everything. Good afternoon. So it's a few hours later from this morning, my update of wonderfulness. I have just been plugging away at reading All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm on page 207. So I think I'm gonna finish this today, but I have to conclude the reading vlog now because I'm probably not gonna read again until the kids go to bed. I'm still really enjoying this. There's so many things to take away from this book that, like I've already said, that I feel like could be applied to present day. So yeah, that is all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed.